Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to Sales Strategies. My name is Wes Moore, and I am your instructor for this course. I'm so excited about this second session here that you have joined me for. And this session is called Building Trust with Customers. One of the most important parts of success in a professional sales career is learning how to become a trusted advisor to your customers. And that's what we want to talk about today. So let's dig into it. So what do we want to talk about today? Really three things. Number one, we want to ask the question and answer the question, what is trust? We want to talk about being trustworthy and gaining the trust of customers. Well, what does that mean anyway? What is trust? Then we'll consider why we don't normally trust the stereotypical salesperson by looking at the used car salesman that we've mentioned in the previous session. Let's take a look at this guy and find out why people typically don't trust us as salespeople. And then we want to talk about the 5 elements of building trust. How is it that we can build trust with our customers? How can we become more trustworthy people and add to our sales success? So that's what we want to do. So let's start off then with what is trust? What is trust? Dictionary.com defines trust like this. It says trust, the verb trust, means to rely upon or place confidence in someone. To rely upon or place confidence in someone. This is simply somebody you can count on. You can believe what they say. You can count on what they promise. You can rely on them, and you can have confidence in them. Dictionary.com also has some synonyms. It says that some synonyms would be to count on, depend on, or look to. And you can see here this idea that trust involves dependence in some way. I'm dependent upon you for something. And if I trust you, then I'm counting on you to come through when I need you to. That's what trust is. So the question for us is, why is it so important that our customers trust us as professional salespeople? Why does it matter, Wes, if we're going to be successful in sales? Well, the reason that it matters is that customers make decisions based on what we tell them and what we promise to do for them. They won't buy from someone they don't trust because they can't take the risk they will fail, individually as employees or corporately as an organization. So essentially, when we tell them something about our product, when we tell them something that we'll do after the sale, or we tell them something a service that our company offers, or some question about stock or whatever, they're counting on that to make their decision. And the buyers and decision makers within companies, their necks are on the line when they make these decisions. And the company overall is on the line about these decisions. So it's important that they can trust what we say so that their decisions are good decisions and that they individually and as an organization will succeed. When people trust you, here's a very important statement. When people trust you, they will buy more from you and they will buy it at a higher price. So you get more sales and more profit if you're trustworthy. Trust is a critical part of success in sales. So let's think about why people don't trust salespeople by looking again at our stereotypical used car salesman. Now again, I'm not bashing car salesmen. I'm just looking at this stereotype that we have in our culture about used car salesmen or car salesmen in general. Okay? Why is it that we don't trust this guy? All right, why do you not trust me? Well, if you'll think about it, here are some reasons you probably don't trust this guy. Number one, I don't know what I'm talking about. He doesn't understand his product very well. He doesn't understand the technology very well. He doesn't know a lot. He doesn't bring a lot of value to the table in terms of what he knows. Why don't you trust me? You don't trust me because I won't follow up with what I say. If I promise to do something for you after the sale, we bought a car. My wife and I bought a car a few years ago from a dealer about 3 hours away, and one of the key fobs, that you push the little button so you can get in the car, it was busted. And the guy told me, I said, look, I need to get this replaced. He said, I'll send you one. And guess what? Weeks later, he hadn't sent me one. And I called and still could not get him, on the phone, could not get him to do what he said. I won't follow up as I say I will, so why do I trust you? Why do I trust what you say? Why don't you trust me? I will lie to you to get you to buy. I'll tell you anything I have to tell you to get you to buy, truth or not. And then I'm really in this for myself. At the end of the day, we know that stereotypical used car salesman doesn't care about us at all. All he really cares about is getting the sale and getting paid. So these are the reasons that we don't trust salespeople. And as we go through the 5 elements of trust next, we want to kind of contrast this guy to what we want to be as true professional salespeople. So let's do that. Let's talk about the elements of trust. And the categories here, these 5 elements come from the textbook Sell 6 by Cengage. I will add my own little flavor to these, but they are in the textbook. So how do we become people that our customers will trust? Let's look at the 5 elements of trust. And let me just go ahead here and outline these for you, and then we'll delve into each one as we go along. The first element is expertise. People trust us because we have expertise. Number 2, people trust us because we have dependability, or we are dependable. The third element of trust is truth-telling. We tell the truth, people trust us. Customer focus, I think your textbook says customer orientation. And for truth-telling, I believe it uses the word candor, but I changed these. So customer focus, we trust salespeople who are focused on us. And then fifthly, likability. Fifth element of trust is likability. So let's go on and discuss these one by one briefly. Trust element number 1, expertise. What you have to realize is that salespeople are an important avenue of information for customers. The people who are meeting with you to talk about your products don't know your products as well as you do. They don't know the industry as well as you do. They're looking to you to give them information. And the things that salespeople say sometimes become the basis of the customer's decision. So they're on the lookout for people who really know their stuff, people that they can trust about with their expertise. So what kinds of things do you need to know? Well, number 1, you really need to know your products and technologies. Now, that should go without saying. You've got to know the solutions that your company offers inside and out, whether they're products like physical products like phones or pens or whatever, or if they are services like a roofing contractor or a paving contractor or whatever. You have to know those. And you don't want to just know the specifics, how much does this pump an hour, or how many wheels are on this piece of equipment that goes into a manufacturing plant. You also want to know the technologies behind them and the reasons behind why those are important. So you have to have a deeper level of knowledge, not just the bells and whistles and the numbers, but the deeper understanding. And then you can explain things to your customers better. And you can also differentiate your company and your products from your competitors, which we'll talk about in a minute. So you need to know your products and your technologies. But you're also going to need to know your company. The things that you offer are sort of different from the company itself. And I'm not just talking about the history of the company and how many offices it has and all of that. That's important. But I'm talking about what do you offer in addition to the individual thing you're trying to get a customer to buy, over and above your specific products. What services does your company offer? Like credit terms. In my business, we're a distributor, so credit terms are important. Do you have different delivery options? Do you have different packaging options? What does your company bring to the table as a holistic partner of your customer? And then you also want to mention and you want to know the things that your company's really good at and the things that your company's not really good at. I've been with the present company that I'm with now for 9 years. And what I found is they want to sell everything to everybody. We've got products, we've got thousands and thousands of products. But what I've found is there are some things that we're strong in, some things that we stock, some things we have great pricing on, we have a lot of product options. That's kind of core, the center of the target for us. But there are other things that the company wants me to sell that we're not so good at. And so it's important for me as a salesperson. I've started to do this. If someone asks me about a product that we're not very good at, I'll say, look, I can get that for you, but that's not something we're really strong in. That's not something we stock a lot of. But if you need it and you want me to get it for you, I'll get it for you. You see? And then conversely, when somebody asks me about a product set that we're really strong in, I'll say, we're really strong in that. We've got stock, we've got pricing, we represent all the big lines and manufacturers. So we're good at that. So you need to know your company. You need to know its services and capabilities, both good and the bad. And then finally, you need to know your competition. You need to know what your competition's offering. You need to know their strengths and their limitations. You'll have to do some research on this. You'll hear this from partners that you have in the industry. You'll hear this from customers. But you need to know your competitors. Now, important part here, when you're talking to your customers about competitors, never badmouth a competitor. Never say, oh, their product is garbage, or they can't do anything right. Don't say that kind of thing. Treat your competitors with respect. And you would say something like, XYZ, they're a good competitor of ours. But on this product, we're a little bit better because of this. See, so you're not dissing your competitor, and you're also differentiating your own offering, right? Sometimes you have to do that, so you need to know your competition. All right, let's go then to trust element number 2, dependability. Dependability. This, being dependable, along with our next element, truth-telling, are by far the biggest weaknesses that I have seen with professional salespeople. Being dependable and telling the truth. And these are the 2 biggest reasons also that customers don't trust salespeople, because they're not dependable and they don't tell the truth. So let's talk quickly about what being dependable is all about. Being dependable simply means that you do what you say you're going to do every time. And it begins with the sales call itself. If you tell the customer, I'll be there on Monday at 9 a.m., then you need to be there Monday just before 9 a.m. If you say, I'll call you to confirm on Wednesday, then you better call to confirm on Wednesday. If you say, I'll send you an email after our meeting with that answer to that question, then you better send them an email. But I'm telling you, salespeople constantly break this rule. They don't realize how important their word is, and their customers don't trust them. And then they wonder why they don't get orders. So I recommend 2 keys here, 2 keys to being dependable. And the first is, don't promise what you won't deliver. And I discipline myself in sales calls on this. I will not promise a customer something that I know later on I won't have the time to do. So I won't say to every question they have, I'll get you an answer later for that. I'll just say, is that really that important a question? And if it's really important, I'll get it. But I won't do that. I won't promise to send an email if I know I won't do it. I won't promise to get them a sample if I know I won't do it. I only commit to what I know I will do. And then the second and related key is to develop a system to track your promises. You have to keep up with what you say you're going to do. Now you can write that down on paper. I usually write down or do it in my on my phone now, but I write it down and I put a big capital A with a circle around it on my notes, and that means action item. That means when I leave here, I've got to do this. This is an action item for me. All right. You can do it on your phone. I want to recommend to you an app that I use. Look, everybody's different. Everybody's going to track things differently, but you've got to find a system that works for you. But Todoist.com, Todoist is a to-do list app that's on your phone, on your computer. It has become the dashboard of my day. I continually go to Todoist.com for everything. I put everything in there that I'm supposed to do, and I check it off, and I check it every day 50 times, and it's like the dashboard of my day. You've got to find a way to track your promises, or you won't be trustworthy, and you won't be trusted. Number 3, truth-telling. Truth-telling. As I said, I think your textbook says candor here. Truth-telling. Truth-telling simply means that you always tell the truth. That you always tell the truth. You deal in truth. Like all the cards you deal in your deck have the word truth on them. All right? You just deal in the truth. You're honest with your customers. Even if it hurts you, you tell them what the truth is. So if they ask you, do you have this in stock? And you don't, you say no. You tell them how quickly you can get it, but you don't tell them it's in stock if it isn't. If they ask, does this product meet the industry standard? Whatever that might be. If it does, you say yes. If it doesn't, you say no, even if you lose the order. If they ask, why did this order not ship? Don't make up some story to get your company off the hook. Tell them the truth. I had it happen recently. The inside sales guy for me, I sent him an email and said, hey, put this order in, and he didn't get the order in. Now, he's really good. He almost never does that. And the customer wrote me and said, hey, where's this order? And I looked it up, and I told him, I said, I'm sorry. We did not get this order entered. Somehow we missed it. I didn't throw my guy under the bus, but I said the truth. We didn't get it entered. I'm sorry. I'm jumping all over this. We're going to have this overnighted to you and to make it right. But you see, they know when you're telling them a story. They know when you're shooting them a line. So don't do it. Don't do it. This may cost you orders in the short term, but in the long run, it'll gain you the world. People will start to trust you. They know everything you say can be relied upon. All right, number 4, trust element 4, customer focus. Customer focus. And I believe your textbook says customer orientation. Customer focus. What does this mean? Again, this is very simple. You focus on the customer. You don't focus on you. You never, ever, ever focus on you. It's all about the customer. Let me illustrate this with a couple of sentences, a couple of statements that salespeople might make. Here's the wrong approach. Let me show you what I have to sell. You walk into a customer's office, and the first thing you do is you say, hey, let me show you what I've got. All right? And sometimes customers will even say that to you. They'll say, what do you have to sell today? They're inviting you to focus on yourself sometimes because they don't know what else to say, even though they really don't want to. I was a general manager for our branch office in Charleston for 2 years. And so a lot of salespeople would call on me, salespeople for all the lines that we sold. And there's this one guy, his name is Tony. And Tony's a great guy. He's a very nice guy, very helpful guy. But when Tony came to visit me, Tony never asked me a single question about what my business was like, what we were struggling with, what I needed, what problems I might have been trying to solve. He would sit down and he would start talking about all his products. Boom, here's a product, here's a product, here's a product, here's a product. And it does this, and it does this, and it does this, and it costs less than this, and on and on and on and on. And all of that's fine and good, but the problem was he didn't have any idea what I needed. He wasn't focused on me, he was focused on him. Well, I buy stuff not for him, I buy stuff for me, to help me solve problems, to help me make money. And so Tony is an example of how you don't want to do it. You don't want to go into a customer's office or talk to a customer on the phone and start talking about you. Here's what you want to do. This is the way you want to approach this. What problems are you trying to solve? How is your business doing? What do you need to improve? You're looking at them from their perspective. And when problems come up, when they need to cancel an order, you don't get mad about it because they have to do what's best for them. You're there for them, not the other way around. When they say, look, I've got to go buy this from someone else because it's cheaper, you don't give them a hard time about it because it's about them. It's not about you. Now, you might try and figure out how you can sell in those situations, but at the end of the day, you don't get mad at people because they are looking out for their interests. You're supposed to be all about them too. And then finally, likability. Likability. It should go without saying, as a lot of these do, but we'll talk about it anyway. What does not likability mean? It means that you're just a nice guy or you're a nice gal. You know, Wes is a nice guy. He's a good dude. You know, I like him. All right? Or Mary, she's a good lady. Great gal. She'll do anything for you. Nice lady. See there? You got to be nice. I've been in sales meetings where the salespeople are standoffish or they seem grumpy or upset or not want to be there. Why would you want to buy from somebody like that? You wouldn't want to be around them, you see? So how do you be a nice guy or gal? Just smile. I have to remind myself all the time. You see somebody, smile, shake their hand. How you doing? Great to see you. You're not being fake, you're just being nice. Hi, it's great to see you, and it should be great to see you. All right? Show interest in the other person. How are you doing? Tell me about your background. How long have you been in the industry? Do you have family? Tell me about your kids. Tell me about your grandkids. Show interest in them. huge part of getting people to like you and to like being around you. And then just remember that your customers are human beings. At the end of the day, all the things that we sell, they're going to come and go. I mean, eventually, no matter how new the car is, it's going to end up in a junkyard. And no matter how nice the phone is, we'll eventually move on to another one or whatever. But the people are the important thing. And what I found is many of my best friends have come from my customers. They're people, I just like them. I just talk to them, get to know them, they get to know me, and we build great friendships in business. So just be likable, okay? And if you do those things, those 5 things, you will be, if you have, let's go back and look at this. If you have expertise, if you're dependable, if you tell the truth or have candor, if you're customer oriented or customer focused, and you're likable, then you're going to be trusted by your customers, and that's what you want to be. So we've gone through now 2 sessions, Introduction to Personal Selling and Building Trust with Customers. And the next time we're going to talk about buyers, the types of buyers you will see in a business-to-business market, how to identify what needs are, and how to use questions to identify those needs. So I look forward to seeing you in our next session, and I hope you have a great day.